What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about my five least favorite bowling balls since becoming a free agent. Everyone always likes to talk about the positives. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the negatives, and we all know everyone loves the drama. So before we get into any of that, if you want to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing. Hit that like button. It goes a long way to helping the algorithm show my videos to more and more bowlers. We have huge goals, and without your help, we cannot get there. So please help me out. Anything on Coolwick's website, Napoles 10, get you 10% off your entire order. Any of the balls in today's video or any of my videos, link down below in the description. The ball spinners, they are amazing by DH Lab. Link also down below in the description. Okay, so just like the last video, we're going to go over my least 5 favorite balls. And I don't have them with me today, so we're just going to show you some old footage from each of those balls, original ball review, or some other footage that I have with them, just none from today. And number 5 is going to be my 5th, like the one I like the most on this list, but it's still like my 5th most hated ball, all the way to number 1, which is the ball that I liked the least out of all of them. So coming in at number 5, we're going to go to the Motive Supra GT. Now, I don't think that this ball is necessarily bad. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and it doesn't really have a slot in my arsenal. Like when I think of what the Supra GT is supposed to be, it's supposed to be a ball that's super clean through the front and a bunch of motion down lane. And if it did that, I think it would not be on this list. I don't know that it would be in my top 5 favorites, but I think it'd be in that purgatory area. When I throw the Supra GT, it feels like it's very tumbly, very rolly, and it doesn't want to pop down lane. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of older Motive balls from a few years ago, or like 5-6 years ago, when they were a little bit too forward. I don't know if the cover is too strong or what it is with that Supra GT. Again, I don't think it's a bad ball. It just doesn't have a home in my arsenal. So I think it just doesn't want. Oh. Nope. And then now coming in at number 4 on this list is honestly a ball that kind of surprised me when I started putting together this list, that it even made this list, because I actually think it's a pretty good ball. But again, like the Supra GT at number 5, it just doesn't have a home for me. We're talking about the Rattler Big Bite. I don't know what it is about this ball. I think that maybe the cover is not strong enough for the amount of differential. Like when I think of balls that would be similar in that range, like the Venom Shock, I'll never throw the Rattler over the Venom Shock. Same thing with like an IQ Tour. I'll never throw the Rattler over an IQ Tour. And so because of that, it ends up being like 3rd on that list of those balls. And I definitely don't need 3 of those kind of balls. I barely throw the IQ Tour as it is. So again, I think that if the cover was stronger, like I think if I would have thrown the original Rattler, the purple one, I think I would really like that one because I feel like maybe it's a little bit stronger. But the Rattler Big Bite, it doesn't do it for me and for what I'm looking for out of a bowling ball that would fit that low RG, low differential type ball motion. There we go. Oh! There we go. I kept down. Oh. Woo. All right, and now coming in at number 3, the first ball in the top 3, and these are really starting to get into bowling balls that I just did not like did not match up with. Reviewed them once, maybe threw them again 1 or 2 more times, and then gave up on them. Number 3 is going to be the Motive EJ Venom bowling ball. I think that this ball aesthetically looks really, really good. I love the colors of this bowling ball. It's just a little bit too tumbly, a little bit too forward. I think that the cover is way too strong for a low RG, low differential core like that gear core. I just think that the core and cover are fighting itself the entire way. I did change the surface and hit it with like a 4000 pad, and it did make it better, sure, but then we're talking about it's too similar to the shock, but doesn't do what the shock does, so then why would I throw that over the shock? And, you know, like the EJ Venom for me would be a ball that I would throw more on the fresh, but I have so many better options to throw on the fresh than that ball, and I just did not match up with it. Yeah. See it? Yeah, it's so heavy. Oh. Yeah, that's a really good. Yeah, that rolls very. All right, and now we are going to get into our number 2 ball, my second least favorite bowling ball that I've thrown this year. And this is going to take a lot of people by surprise because a lot of people like this ball. It's probably going to be the most sold bowling ball of 2024. And because of that, one of the more popular bowling balls in 2024. A lot of people threw it on TV. You got, if all of these haven't given it away yet, maybe this will. It's the Hammer Black Widow 3.0. I didn't match up with this ball. I think that the HK22 is an amazing additive. I just don't think I love it on the solids. It wants to, like, this ball, it doesn't know its identity. It doesn't know what it wants to be. When I think of like the Black Widow 2.0, it's the same core, same cover, just without that HK22 additive. And it's early, it's round, it's really good, it's a great asymmetric solid. And then when you add the HK22 additive, it wants to be a little bit cleaner through the fronts and it wants to boom down lane. But it doesn't want to be angular and it doesn't want to be early. It's just a lot of things that my eyes just didn't like to see. And I tried a couple different surfaces, I tried a couple different things, and it didn't match up with me. And that's okay. But for those reasons, it is my number 2 bowling ball this year, the Black Widow 3.0 solid. Yeah, it is very... That's right where I'm trying to get it. And then, of course, I-70. There we go. That's much more the shot that I was... So I got that right. Wow, that shaped a lot more. All right, here we are. Number 1, my least favorite bowling ball that I've thrown so far. Maybe my most hated ball this year. Maybe my most hated ball ever. This is a bowling ball that I tried very hard in the review to find some positives for. And I haven't thrown it again since my initial review. I'm talking about the Columbia 300 Atlas Hybrid. I thought that this ball was way too strong for what it was. And it did surprise me. I wasn't expecting it to be that strong when I first threw it, and I tried to find some positives. It's just, on the fresh, for example, it forced me left. But when I got too far left, it bailed down lane. And then when I moved back right, it hooked this much. It's just a ball that I did not match up with whatsoever. And I think it's a beautiful looking ball. I think that the colors look great. The shelf appeal is out of this world. It just didn't do it for me. And that's okay. That's okay. We're not going to match up with every single bowling ball. So number one, my least favorite ball this year, the Atlas Hybrid by Columbia 300. Oh boy, that ain't coming back. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, it's so strong. Ooh, blowers. That's a good way to end it. All right, so there you have it. There was my top 5, or my least 5, like my most hated bowling balls so far since I've become a free agent. Just to recap, number 5 was the Supra GT. Number 4 was the Rattler Big Bite. Number 3 was the EJ Venom. Number 2 was the Black Widow 3.0. And number 1, as my least favorite bowling ball of the year, was the Columbia 300 Atlas Hybrid. So there you have it. We will see you on the next one.